Hello, I'm Locke Meredith, and I'd like to invite you to join me on the next Legal Lines. I'm very pleased to have on the show Art Moore and his wife, Gail Moore. Art's a former NFL player, pro football player. His wife is a former professional singer, actually still is, and has sang all over the world and country. And they're going to talk to us how they joined forces when they became married and started a ministry called Yes I Can. They came to Baton Rouge almost 15 years ago, and they've been pouring into our community and all over the world. So join us on the next Legal Lines with Art Moore and his wife, Gail Moore. Hello, I'm Locke Meredith, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of myself, Sean Fagan, and Corey Ogeron, and our entire staff for letting us come into your homes for the last 10 years via Legal Lines. We hope that you've come to a greater understanding of how the law works and how the government works for you. So from all of us, thank you. Welcome to Legal Lines. I'm Locke Meredith, and I'm very pleased to have on the show today Art Moore and his wife, Gail Moore. Art, hey, it's great to see you again, Gail.
Be back, man.
Hey, I'm so glad you guys have come in to do this. You know, we were talking, it's been 10 years
since that
last show. And I actually was caught the show over the holidays and said, God, I've got to get these guys back. Wow. And so, you know, we kind of talked about your NFL career. People see you and you're a huge man, what, 6'5"? Close to 300?
6'6", probably 295 now, you know.
He only looks that big because I'm so short.
Well, she said she'd divorce me if I go over 300.
Because you're like 5 foot.
I'm only 5 feet.
Yeah. Quite a combo.
I say 295. She said she'd divorce me if I go over 300.
Let's talk about, you know, you talked about kind of the NFL and the rules and playing and all that, but you were in this high profile, very popular sport. You were living the fast life. Tell people how that was going on and then what happened to change you into who you are now in a ministry with Gail.
Well, you know, it was all about me for a long time. You know, it was a great deal to be in the NFL. And, you know, you kind of get caught up in being successful on TV, national, to playing against guys like Joe Namath and all this different stuff. But, you know, every now and then people would ask you to consider Jesus, you know, but I didn't really have time for that. But in my 6th year in the league, down in Florida, somebody put something in my drink, burned up my intestines, and through that ordeal, I got saved.
I mean, Art, you're minimizing that. They tried to kill you. They
tried to kill me.
They put Drano and lime and bad
stuff. As far as they could tell, it was traces of arsenic liquid Drano, and I drank it, and man, my life went from a downward spiral. That was about a 2.5-year ordeal. Well, actually, it's been a lifetime ordeal. I mean, it burned out my entire digestive tract, and I thought I was dying.
Well, you were told by doctors you were dying. You traveled all over.
I had a doctor walk in my medical room, throw his medical book on my bed, tell me he'd expended his medical knowledge on me. And then one day my auntie came to see me and told me I need to meet her doctor. Well, her doctor was a female minister with a big old white kitchen Bible. I guess she figured she needed a big Bible. And she walked in and asked me a question. She said, if you took your next breath and died, where would you go, hell or hell? So I really had to consider the first time the eternity question.
Because you figured you were on your way there.
Oh, I knew I was, man. I passed out, threw up every day for 1.5 years. I mean, I couldn't walk from here to the cameraman without passing out. I mean, I was sick. And but you know, God was gracious. I prayed to receive Christ, and the lady never prayed for me to be here. But several days after I prayed to see Christ, I began to digest my food again. But not only that, I began to respond to the Bible, and you know, people say God don't speak to you. Well, he spoke to me several days before this happened. I was sitting at home by myself, and something said, quit drinking. Well, I didn't quit drinking and got killed. Next time I heard the voice of God, I went back to New England, even though I was 50 pounds lighter, but I finished my training practice, and the voice would say, leave the NFL, go into ministry. So after 2 weeks of arguing with the voice, I walked up to Chuck Fairbanks' desk, threw my playbook on his desk, and told him I was leaving to go into ministry. So here I am.
Interesting, and you know, it's fascinating, Art, because you were living what the world says is the way you live, and have fun and enjoy yourself and get significance and all that. I mean, you had tons of women, booze, drugs, all that. That's just the truth.
Oh man,
that's what that lifestyle brings.
The drug scene. I mean, we did it all, man. You know,
that means you're successful. You've done it,
and that's what the world tells you. If you get this, you get that. You get a car, you get this. But you know what? It's a funny thing. Several days before this incident happened in my life, I was sitting in my house in Florida thinking, man, there's got to be more to life than this. And I think God was speaking to me then, not knowing that I was headed to this, you know, because actually if I had a heated divorce, I wouldn't have got in trouble. But then if I hadn't got in trouble, I would have never met this beautiful blessing. I mean, I met her at my front door after I got saved, you know, so I tell tomorrow, so I tell guys, if you want a pretty wife, get saved.
Well, Gail, tell us what happened. How did that go down?
Oh, that went down really good.
She don't like to admit that that's
when
how
we met each other, I mean, we literally clicked, of course. I mean, I knew he was my husband and he knew I was to be his wife. But we actually got on our knees and asked God to make us a team, us a ministering team. We used the platform of sports, which is what Art does, and contemporary music, which is what I do. We use both of those as a tool to reach kids in crisis, and it has worked over like 30 years of our ministry. Immaculate.
Tell the folks, because I mean, you really have been plugged in the entertainment world significantly.
Oh yeah, when we met, I've always been involved in the entertainment. I was raised in it, in the entertainment world.
Yeah, I read first professional job age 17.
Yeah. I started working with like Michael and Janet and Whitney.
We're talking about Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah, I say Michael.
Whitney Houston.
Jackson, yeah. I guess you can tell how long I've been in it because everybody I work with they're past now, pretty much. But I started off like in the church, and then I got into the commercially doing background vocals and things like that for the popular artists on secular side and on the ministry side. Oh yeah, I worked with BB and CeCe Winans and just everybody.
So Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Oh my God, we've done great records together. I'm working on a new project right now. So we actually joined our forces together, the music and football. And it has just worked out like clockwork for us.
Yeah, we knew we had a unique platform. I mean, when I met Mel Locke Meredith and I'd in Grove Shop, he told me, he said, hey, God gave Moses a stick. He said, football and music is a stick that you can use for his glory. And then through guys like Reggie White, we have pioneered the Christian athlete movement, and that's why it's so great to see Ray Lewis actually carrying it on a little bit, you know, because since Reggie passed, it's become pretty quiet about being a vocal for Christ, but that's what we do, you know.
Yeah. So y'all both got these big sticks and decided to create the ministry called Yes I Can.
Yes I Can.
Yes I Can.
To reach out to kids.
Now, now, as I understand it, y'all were kind of really not pondering Baton Rouge. Y'all were living in Boca Raton.
Wait, I don't think I had ever even heard of Baton Rouge.
Look, I grew up in Texas. I never planned to come to Baton Rouge. But it was God.
God really sent us here. We were not planning to come to Baton Rouge.
So how did it happen?
Well, you know what? We were living in Laguna Niguel, California, and we began to network with the organization, with the Fellowship of Christian Athlete, and Don Griffin was a part of that.
Right.
We actually gave Don Griffin a going away party in California because he and Kitty was coming back here to
Baton Rouge.
And Gus Kenshin
Yes.
And then Reggie had been leaving a message on our service for 3 years, said, Art and Gail, God wants y'all to move to Tennessee. So we finally moved to Tennessee, and then from Boca Raton, we got a call to come do an event at Donham School. We got here through Donham School.
That was our first invite.
I didn't know that. And of course, my kids have gone there and love y'all.
Ken Worship called us down here. And,
that was actually where our roots started here in Baton Rouge, was at the Donham School.
Yeah.
All right. So you came here, what, almost 15 years ago?
About 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We did the school assembly. They were for the kids. And we just had the best time.
The Holy Spirit fell out of that.
Oh my God.
The kids just really gravitated to us. And that's kind of our MO. We like encouraging young people for excellence.
Well, and that's,
that's our purpose.
I did some research, and it appears that y'all are focused on young kids and young families. You use all the venues available, whether it's a church or a school or any kind of function that's made available.
Yeah.
And y'all pour into them. Describe that format. How does that go?
Well, it's funny, go ahead.
Go ahead, babe.
When we first came, we were all over Parkview, Donham, and then we heard about the problem they was having in Valley Park. So we actually adopted Valley Park 6 years ago because we wanted to see if you can make a difference.
Now, Valley Park is kind of where the bad kids end up going, the quote bad kids.
They got
they have the reputation for the bad kids.
But we've gone through three principals over there.
Yeah, we have gone through 3 principals over there at that
school.
But
we've seen a lot of those kids doing good in the community,
Those kids have had several, I'm talking hundreds of those kids have gotten their lives turned around. They kind of have a bad rap, really, because there's a lot of good that also goes on over there at Valley Park.
And they kind of, this LEAP test. I mean, you got kids that are 17 years old that's make A's and B's in class, but they can't pass the LEAP test, so they held an 8th grade.
Right,
so they frustrate.
We got a problem with the education.
No exit pattern. So what we try to do is identify where they are, let them know that there are people out here, mobilize them out of their community. I mean, you got a kid that rides a dilapidated bus from a dilapidated neighborhood, go to a dilapidated school, and they 24 cycle. So what we do, we have a thing called visual reality. We actually take them out limos and hotels and try to
expose them to a whole new world.
To a new life.
We'll continue this on the next segment. This is Locke Meredith, Art and Gail Moore. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Locke Meredith, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of myself, Sean Fagan, and Corey Ogeron, and our entire staff for letting us come into your homes for the last 10 years via Legal Lines. We hope that you've come to a greater understanding of how the law works and how the government works for you. So from all of us, thank you. Welcome back to Legal Lines. I'm Locke Meredith, and again, very pleased to have on the show today Art and Gail Moore. They have poured into Baton Rouge, but not just Baton Rouge, all over the world. Let's talk about that, guys. It's interesting. Literally all over the world, Gail.
Yeah, we have traveled the country helping kids in crisis. Yes, I Can is from Baton Rouge, California, to Brazil, Grenada, Jamaica.
Oh, man.
We go all over.
Been to Egypt.
Yeah.
It's
actually became international.
And we got Africa, Opportunity for Africa's on right now, and another project coming up in Brazil. But you know, we found out all over people are the same. They need to be loved.
We found the same problem with the kids internationally. Same.
That's what the Bible says.
I mean, it really is the same.
We're all born with that same problem, aren't we?
Exactly.
Everybody needs a savior, you know, and so
the kids in the inner city are with no dad. They don't know who their father is. They just have maybe a mom. And the very wealthy kids, when we do their private schools, their father's working in the corporation. He's gone too. So both kids have the same problem. They're fatherless. You know, they don't have that structure that they really need in the home.
Here's the mistake that everybody think about our ministry. Here in Baton Rouge, they think we're inner city ministry. We never did inner city. Our ministry was birthed on the beaches of Laguna Niguel, California.
Right.
All Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, that's not much inner city there, is it?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've actually done the inner city ministry.
So it was associate pastor of a predominantly all-white church that we've always done. But you know, we realized that it doesn't matter color. Love has no color. You know.
No.
We have kids finding us on Facebook now from our California ministry that are still walking with the Lord, still thanking us for sharing the gospel with them that many years ago.
Well, you know, and I thought primarily your focus was inner city and primarily Baton Rouge, but I knew you traveled a lot. But y'all reaching hundreds of thousands of
hundreds of
We've
thousands
never been
of
in the
kids.
city until we come to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and it's kids, it's youth, it's America's youth. Yeah. Any kid, all kids, the rich, the poor, the famous, it doesn't matter.
Because it's all the same problem.
Yeah, because they're kids who need encouragement. They all need to be inspired, and they all need someone to love on them, to listen to them, and to embrace where they are.
See, I grew up in the South. Like, when I look at you, you remind me of a white guy that invested me in high school. I mean, you know, if you look at the movie The Titan, that's my high school year in Texas. I mean, forced integration. Man, I couldn't even go to the Dairy Queen until we won a football game at the white school.
Wow.
You know, so I've seen a whole new transition here. You know, for America to me is a totally different America than what I grew up.
Well, we were talking about it. Our kids have grown up where race is not an issue for them.
No, they don't know.
It's not, no.
But thanks to a white boy, I remember football season started. Coach couldn't play in the black guys his first game because he lost his job. Next game, coach came in and told us what happened, put us all on the field together. We won state championship, beat an all-black school for the state championship. But until the fifth game, couldn't even go to the Dairy Queen. So one day, a group of the white guys said, hey, we want y'all to go to Dairy Queen with us. I'll never forget it. Walking to Dairy Queen, the lady said, hey, Johnny, hey, I didn't know the lady knew my name. She said, now, Johnny, you know Art and Eddie can't be in here. And all the white kids said, hey, they can't be in here. We won't come. The lady said, sit down.
Changed.
From that day forth. So the bottom line is that
I'm seeing you get emotional.
Hey,
I love that.
I got a history, man.
Oh, he could get very emotional.
But see, what's happening in America is that we need to stop criticizing and begin to love each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Stop criticizing the kids and love on the kids.
But you know, we say we want our kids to set an example, but you know, when a certain party don't like the president, they come out in the paper and call him names. If I don't like this guy, I call him names. But yet we want the kids to come and, okay, you guys get along. Yeah. You know, but what's the message
Obey,
we send?
yeah.
I mean, you look at the election, it's all rhetoric about union, and It's
They're
like
constantly
nobody forget about the people. And you know what? And the kids
constantly-
are informed. I mean,
They are.
You wouldn't think the kids at Valley Park watched the election.
They knew what was going on.
They
Everything.
know exactly what's going
Everything.
on.
Everything.
Interesting.
Very informed.
They know.
Let's talk about the programs that y'all have set up to reach out to the girls for you. It's just girls.
Just girls,
Just
yeah, just girls.
They won't even let me
so
come.
awesome. It's
Tell us-
just girls.
Gail, tell us about
Well,
it.
we have done so many schools over our lifetime that at the end of all of our programs, the girls are just lined up to ask questions to me. Just, I got this question, I want to know this. So I thought I need to create a platform for these girls that's designed just for them, so they can come and vent their frustrations and get real answers for the real problems that they deal with every day. That's what Just Girls is.
And so the platform is that you set up a day, you get a nice place.
Yeah,
Explain that.
I mean, I wanted to expose them to something new, something different that they've never done before. So I get a 5-star hotel. We host it there. I bring in celebrity, other women, some local talents or from out of state or wherever, and they can share their testimony and their triumphs and tragedies, how they got over them, to let the girls know your problems are just temporary.
It's not just you.
It's not just you. We all go through things, and you can get through them. I got through mine, and you can get through yours.
And I love the part that I read that y'all give them an open mic time. So
Yeah, and
the
they
the
pop
head
up like
lady's talking,
popcorn.
and boom, they get to ask y'all
They
questions.
do. They love that part. I mean, that is like the hottest part, because they actually just jump up and run to the mic, and they ask all kinds of questions, from rape to drugs, from being molested by their fathers, with tears in their eyes.
So they're honest.
Oh, absolutely. And the women on the panel, you
Are
know,
honest.
I've had Diane Deaton on there. I've had Jackie Vines on there. I've had the
Columbine,
Winans,
Rachel Scott's
the
mother.
Columbine. Rachel Scott's mother's been on there from the Columbine shooting, and she shared all her. I mean, it has just been the most instrumental device that I've ever used to help these girls.
So your guests are transparent and honest.
Everybody,
and it
yeah.
and that empowers the girls to be open and
to be
honest.
open and honest and say, this is what I deal with every day. I have to go home to this.
And you survived it, guest. So I
My
can
daughter was
survive it.
raped. I know what it feels
Your daughter
like.
was raped.
Our daughter was raped.
She's
yeah.
one of the panelists.
And she's on the panelists. She's a panelist as
Wow.
well. She shares everybody just becomes very transparent. Everybody's transparent.
Wow. And I remember you telling me earlier that, you know, the first time you did it, you thought maybe 60 girls would show up, and it was 700.
I really did, because I thought, well, gee, I just need to get maybe 25, 30 girls and just sit down and let's just let them vent, because they have so many questions. One girl's like, Miss Gail, I'm 15 and I'm living with my auntie's boyfriend who's 57. Should I marry him? I mean, just questions like that. I mean, you can't just say yes or no. That needs to be dealt with, because everything is out of order there. So that was really where I got the motivation to do the Just Girls Conference. And I thought, well, so I'll just do 30. 700 girls showed up the very first year that we did it.
How do folks find out about it? Do they go to the website and
They
that's
go to
how
the
they get
website.
noticed?
We
It's in the
advertise in all the
newspaper.
schools.
Yeah, we advertise in all the schools, every teacher. I mean, Kip Holden has supported this and helped us. So many, Sharon Weston Broom. We get tons of support
Rolf McAllister,
for the Just
okay.
Girls. Rolf McAllister.
Excellent.
We've had several
You.
people. You. Thank you.
You bought a table, they didn't know she's buying it for you. You know what
But
I mean?
girls come in gangs and leave as friends.
Yes.
Wow.
They do.
Say
They
that
come,
again. Girls come as
as
gangs.
gang members, and they leave as friends.
All right, we're going to continue this on the next segment. This is Locke Meredith with Legal Lines and Art and Gail Moore. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Locke Meredith, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of myself, Sean Fagan, and Corey Ogeron, and our entire staff for letting us come into your homes for the last 10 years via Legal Lines. We hope that you've come to a greater understanding of how the law works and how the government works for you. So from all of us, thank you. Welcome back to Legal Lines. I'm Locke Meredith. Again, very pleased to have back on the show Art Moore and his wife, Gail Moore. Guys, let's dive right back in. You were talking about your annual ministry outreach of
the Just Girls.
Art, you've got the same thing, but it's for the boys. I don't imagine you see too many girls showing up.
Yeah.
Really?
We do co-ed, man.
All right, 3 on 3. Explain
we
it
have co-ed.
to folks.
Originally when we first did it, we were just looking for opportunities to interject. We have to find ways to stay in the community. To be outside the church, but kind of be the church in the community. So we come up with the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and hey, face it, the first year we did, we do. If you ever saw Hooper, that we do slam dunk, 3-point shootout. Hey, the first year we did it, 2 white guys won. The first 2 years, 2 white guys won a slam dunk contest. Shut the brothers down, man.
I love it.
And so we started. We've done it for 10 years straight. We started getting teams as far away as Mississippi, Texas.
Really?
Come every year. But the whole idea was what people liked about it. It was all about Christ. If you got disqualified, you don't curse, you don't fight, automatic disqualification. But the tournament is not about winning the trophy. We give each kid a big individual trophy, but the kid who has the best sportsmanship, maybe wasn't even going to win a team. They get a bigger trophy than everybody because they display character. And so we've had, what Rob McCall said, we've had the honey badgers, the cheerleaders out there. We've had the sheriff. It was a big event, and probably anywhere from 15 to 2,000 people.
And you have that at the LSU campus.
Under the Oaks, right across from the new baseball stadium, man. Every year, LSU has let us been out there, and those kids come every year. 3-on-3 basketball team. Yeah. We have air conditioning vent. Welch's generator from Kaiser sends me an air conditioner on a tractor trailer. You'll see grandmama sitting under the tree in front of it.
So it's a family.
Yeah. They're getting free food. It's sponsored by Healing Place, Cooking for Christ. They come and everybody eats. So we actually shut it down.
Hey, we have to compete for parking. LSU baseball team, we almost put them out of business every year because we're out there during playoffs time.
So what is the age range?
Hey, we take them from 8 to 80. You can drip and drool. We got a place for you.
Drip and drool. I love it.
We have a 70-year-old guy do 3-point shootout and win. What are you talking about, man?
I love it. He's inspiration for us, huh? We're getting there.
But you know what? We talking about black, just kids. Just an institution for you let their kids out in plain clothes to come play in the tournament.
They do. And to the girls' conference.
Yeah.
They do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they do. But what I was going to say, we actually shut it down. We play basketball from like 8 in the morning till like 12. And then at 12 o'clock, all the balls are off of them.
Evangelistic.
That's the time where we actually share with those kids. Everybody sits down, no balls are moving, everybody listens, and we share the gospel.
And we've had more kids receive life from Christ right after that. But once again, it's just a stick.
Right.
Yeah.
But people come together and love each other,
And they're doing something where
positive.
It's relational.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the best teams are the girls, man. You can tell the hottest team because everybody around that half court, man, they be knocking it down.
Oh my God.
We have an LSU center court with fiberglass basketball. It's on, man.
The girls teams, they actually make the basketball. The girls are incredible.
Hey, we have from Cox Sports, Channel 33. They put in everybody come play.
They come
ESPN Sports out there, it'd be rolling, man.
And so, and so it finishes at 12, and y'all talk about Christ, and then
we get back to playing basketball, and then we do our championship. The winners wins, and they walk away with all the trophies and all the jerseys and everything that's donated to us for the awesome stuff.
Fantastic. Really. All right, say it straight.
Say it straight is just a way to help young kids. A lot of kids are placators. They do things that they know they shouldn't do, but they only do it because other people do it. So what we do, we teach them the position of a placator. If you do something that you know you shouldn't do, we actually make a kid get out on his knees and he's looking up at the kid that he's doing it for and show him the weakened position that he put it in. And so then we tell him how to stand up to this guy and say, you know what, I'm not doing it. So Gail have a thing that she even put him in role play, like a kid just get out of drug rehab, but the kid in the neighborhood is bringing him back. Well, she put him in that setting, and they really learn how to make the right choices.
Yeah, say it
by
straight.
By saying it straight, I'm not doing it.
Meaning, don't use any excuses like, somebody will ask you to do something, and you'll say, okay, I will, but no, I really can't because my mother doesn't. No excuses. Just say, no, I'm not going to do that, and I'm really afraid for you. If they say, well, let's go do drugs. No, just say no. I'm not going to do drugs with you, and mean it. And I'm really afraid of what the drugs might do to you. So I'm not going to do them.
Let's talk about because the black community. You were mentioning all the struggles with the fathers not being there, the violence that they're subject to, and it's not just black families, but
it's kids.
But what I've hearing is that y'all offer them an opportunity to see there's a whole nother world, because they never escape a lot
their
of those
environment.
kids, their environment.
They're always in that environment
thing.
every day. But we want to expose them to a visual that they've never seen before. Some of them have never even been to New Orleans. Some of them have never been on this side of town. They just are just
So we take them
there.
to football games. I've had Rolf get me the governor's booth. I mean, the kids never seen inside of a suite at a football game, but what it does, it opens their horizon.
It does.
But see, here's the problem. Not every kid at Valley Park is bad. Maybe 2%. But you only hear about the 2%. You don't hear about the kids that's doing good.
There are kids at Valley Park that are really thriving and that are doing great. Actually, Valley Park has worked out to be a blessing for them.
Wow.
Because there's more discipline at Valley Park than it is at the public school.
They can study
so when they come there,
uninterrupted.
they come there as like F students and they leave there A students.
And see, with Miss Mackey helped us, we introduced a points program that they actually, on good conduct, can win enough points to get back to their regular school. Yeah. So they come there and go to the classes, get their points. Every class, the teacher has to sign the point sheet. They get their points and they go back there. We thank Miss Mackey who implemented that.
So they're learning discipline and structure and the ability to make decisions.
We go over all of that in our small. We do small group sessions over there with these kids. So it's more of a one-on-one with them. It's a group session that everybody can talk and vent their frustrations and say, think about how you got here this time. Could you have made a better decision about what you did the last time?
Being an athlete, I said, what do we do when we got a bad game plan? Coach called timeout. Well, Valley Park is just timeout time.
And that's what that is.
To reassess your life.
So they get to really sit down
and really think about, how did I get here? Why did I get here? Did I have to do what I did to get here? Did you have to hit the teacher? Did you really have to do the drugs? Did you have to bring the gun? Could you not have left the gun at home?
God, it's amazing to listen.
And we talk about reaping and sowing.
I know, major stuff, yeah.
It's serious issues, but they're just children.
They're just kids. And they're looking for somebody to embrace them and say, do I matter? Like one kid asked me, Miss, do I matter?
What did you see?
Would you see anything in me? Of course I do. You're a survivor. You can make it. You're really okay. Just because your mother's a drug addict or your father's a deadbeat does not mean that you are an individual and you can make
all
it.
things through Christ. You can do all things through Christ.
You absolutely can.
So y'all are exposing them to a whole new world, a whole of thinking and processing information, being proactive instead of reactive. But more than anything, you're giving them hope.
Well, I heard a lot of people talk about they want to help me, but where are you at? I don't see you.
Yeah.
Show me where you're at. Don't just sit in an office somewhere and help me from afar. Embrace me.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah, talk is cheap. Come where I am.
And so do you have other folks join in with y'all and participate in all these events, right?
They come
You
with
can't
us.
do it by yourself.
Oh, no. We have to have lots of volunteers. We have lots, like hundreds.
Hey, I've had Roy McCallus on the basketball coach, Johnny Coach.
Guys, it's been great to see you. Look forward to doing it again. This is Locke Meredith with
We love
Legalize.
you, Locke, man. You're the man.
Thank you. Art and Gail Moore. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah.